Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Dan here. So thanks again for tuning in. So in today's video, I'm going to explain to you how you can buy a stock or some sort of security off of ETRADE and their website directly. Recently in my channel, I've talked about a lot of stock videos and trading, and so I've had a lot of people message me and say, hey, what's some of the best platforms that you like, and what do you use? And so a lot of people want to know, what's out there. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about opening up that stock or whatever security that you're thinking in ETRADE itself. So the first thing you're going to want to do is, of course, fund the account. So you're going to want to determine how much money you're willing to invest, and then you're going to want to actually build, put that into the account. So there's a few ways you can go about doing that. So the first is, of course, you can link up a checking or a savings account. You can also wire transfer, and that's nice because that's available the same day. And then you can also transfer an account. So say you're coming from a different broker and you wanted to transfer to here. So that takes a little bit longer, but of course it can be done. And then, of course, if you want to be old school, you can deposit a check. So that is saying it takes about 5 business days. So the easiest way, the method that I use, is to just transfer money via checking or savings account, and it usually takes a couple days to go through, but then you're available and you can start trading right away. And now this interface might look a little daunting, especially if you've come from an account like a WeBull or Robinhood, where everything is just so compact and easy to look at. So what you're really going to want to focus on is just right here in the trading tab. And so that's where you're going to spend a majority of your time. So you can just select trading and go to stocks. So now right here is where it's going to pull up all the information about the stock itself. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is, of course, determine which stock that you're going to want to buy. And so if you don't know the symbol, that's totally fine, right? So you can, the easiest way that I would do is to Google it. So say you wanted to look up something like Tesla, for example, and you didn't know what it was called in ETRADE. So what you could do is just do a simple Google search. And so you can just do something like Tesla stock. And now, of course, Google will bring you right to it, and you can look right here for that NASDAQ symbol Tesla. So NASDAQ is the exchange that it's traded on, but what you care about is this four letters right here, TSLA. So if we go back to our ETRADE, so now we can just do Tesla. So say you didn't even know it anyways, so you can just do Tesla, spell it out, and the program's smart enough to realize, hey, this person wants to buy Tesla. But say if you also wanted to know the symbol, which is TSLA, that'd be fine, and you'd be able to activate it. All right, so I'm going to hide my face so we can show this thing on full screen so you can have a great idea of what we're all looking at here. All right, so we have, of course, along this top line, this is just all of the money that you have in your account. So currently I have just a little over $1,000 in this one account. So now what you care about is settled, right? So if anything is in unsettled, you're not going to be able to really have access to that. And especially to here, you're going to see total cash purchasing power. So that is saying I have $31.72 to work with. So if I try to buy a stock that's cost $500, it's just not going to let me. All right, so now I've determined what symbol that I've wanted to buy, and I have that info available right onto the screen. And so what you're going to see is just a few really high level information about what's kind of happening with the stock. And so you can see last price. So that just means currently right now as I'm recording this video that the stock market's closed. So that just means that this was the last price that it was traded at. Then you've got bid and ask size. And so the easiest way to remember this is, so if you're asking for the price, you're asking for something that's, as you want to get as much money as possible. So you are selling, you are a seller. And so bid, of course, is on the opposite end. So you don't want to pay a lot. So you want to bid low. And so that's the difference of these two here. And so the difference between that number, so right now the exchange is closed and this was $663.20 was the bid, and the ask was $663.30. So there was a 10 cents difference. And so that is called a spread, that difference in between. And then you look at the volume too. This is what this is showing. And so volume is 33 million people have either bought or sold at this, during the course of the day. So this is a, very volatile stock. And then if you look over here on the right, you've got just some quick info on here. You can just see how the stock has performed over the course of the day. So now this would be live. This would be happening at, say you're buying this in the middle of the market. So you would be seeing this move as the day progresses. And then over here, you just have some general information. You can see the day's range, and that is $641 to $672. So you can see what the stock traded at, and then you can see too if there is a dividend. So currently right now Tesla does not offer a dividend, but if it did, that would show up right here. And then of course you would see the ex-dividend day, which means that is the last day that you can enter into a stock before you can get access to that dividend. Say for example, today is March 31st. So if the dividend was March 31st, I would have had to buy in today in order to reap the benefits of getting that dividend. If I bought in on a day after, then I would miss out on that dividend and I'd have to wait till the next quarter. And then here too, it gives you some information about when that dividend's getting paid out. So this again is more geared towards a dividend stock. All right, so if it comes to the actual trading, so now you have a few options, and so you need to choose between how you're going to buy this thing. And so you can go to this drop down menu called action. So think of this as like, okay, I'm going to need to buy what am I going to do? How am I going to buy it? So what's my action? Currently right now we're just going to focus on buy. So there is other methods. You can short a stock, and that's way more advanced. So right now currently we're just going to be buying a stock, long-term plan. All right, so yeah, the next thing then you'd want to do is enter the amount of shares that you'd want to buy. So you can enter as many shares as you want here. The thing is though, it needs to be in whole share amounts. This is not fractional trading. And then you've got a few options. So now price type. So I want to cover just a few. This is a big long drop down, but I want to cover just a few things. So the easiest thing to focus on is this thing called market. So it is basically saying, get me in as fast as possible and I'm willing to pay the price. So if you're thinking market order, it's typically going to be what the person is asking for. So depending on the size of the spread, this could be a couple cents or it could be maybe a couple dollars. So, but that's the fastest way to get into that share, into that transaction as quickly as possible. So now there is another example, and that is limit. And so limit, the easiest way to think about this is to say, I am choosing what price I want to buy this thing at. And that is that. So there is no compromising. So if you're saying, you know what, I think Tesla's a little overpriced right now, I'm not paying anything until it gets down to about $640. So you can go ahead and enter that amount here, and it says estimated total cost amount, $640. And then you have this thing called duration. And so duration, and this is only applies to a limit. So duration allows you to say good for day, or I just want to go into a few of these, or you can say good for 60 days. So if you think, you know what, I think Tesla might be dropping down, in a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, so I just want to put this in here and not think about it, maybe just get off doing whatever I need to do. So you can have that there and then set it and forget it and not have to worry about it. If going back to now, say our market order, if you do a market order, you notice you don't have that drop down. It just says good for day. So when you do a market order, there is no lag, there is no delay. You are going to get that filled no matter what. And then just really quick, there is this thing called market on close. So now if you follow stocks, if you look at stocks at all, so if you notice that typically during the beginning of the trading day and the ending of the trading day are very volatile. There's a lot of price action, there's a lot of movements. They call it power hour at the end, you know, just exciting stuff happening. So what you could do is you can say, you know what, I don't care what the price is, I'm going to buy this on market close. And so what that will do is that will place that trade at, so the stock market closes at 4 p.m. Eastern time. So it'll put that trade in at like 3:59.59, and you will get the price that it has closed at. And so sometimes this is really good if, you know, there is a dip maybe at the end and you kind of grab that dip. But sometimes it's not so good because you might be bought at a very high side and then the market might open a lot lower the next day. So it's just something to keep in mind. But it's nice because, again, you can just kind of set it and forget it and make sure that orders getting in, you don't have to think about it. And so, again, that is just for a good for day. So here now I'm going to change our stock to away from Tesla and to View6. So I just happen to know that ticker name, but if you didn't know, you can just look that up. I just want to walk you through an example so you can see what it looks like up until the stock getting filled. So I'm just going to go through here and just do buy one share, buy it on market, good for order, and then you get this option here called preview order. This is your last screen before you have officially bought a trade. This in ETRADE, this is what it will look like. And so it's just confirming, hey, this is everything you want to do, and you can click this little drop down and it will show what the impact's going to be to your buying power. So you can see here I have $31.72 available to use for buying. So this stock is closed right now, but if I were to purchase this at a market price right now, if I possibly could, well, that'll bring my buying power down to $6.67. So it's just saying, hey, this is what's going to happen in your account and confirming that everything is good. So the nice thing too, of course, is ETRADE, along with pretty much all the other brokers, have gone away with commissions. So that's really nice. So you don't have to pay any commission. So go ahead and place order, and that would be confirming. So this is what it would look like. So this order has been placed, and this is in queue. And so even though the market's closed, I have put in a order for a buy at open market. So what this would do is, say if you were looking at stocks at night and you had a plan to buy a bunch of stocks, well, you can go ahead and put in a market order for all of them, and you can still submit it, and it's still as valid as you can see. But you know, obviously the market's not open, so nothing's going to happen. So this is just going to be sitting in queue, and at the start of the market, so the market opens at 9:30 Eastern time, this will be initiated right away. So I'm just going to cancel this just because I don't want to buy View6, and canceled. So you're canceled, and you can see here it has been canceled. And so yes, that's pretty much it. That's how simple it is. So after you've placed that order, boom, you have just bought yourself your first stock and you're on your way to doing some trading. So good job and congratulations. Nicely done. So pretty painless, right? Not too bad. So that's all I have right now for this video. So thanks for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. It'll really help the channel. And don't forget to comment. I really love hearing from you guys. So thanks again for watching, and consider subscribing, and we'll see you at the next video. All right, take care.